Kirsten from JK Fiber Arts. Before we get to what's on the agenda for today, I am continuing to try to show you, at least during the fall and winter season, one little thing you can do with your hand spun. Today I am wearing, appropriately so because it was flurrying when I went to work this morning, my headband and my little fingerless mitts, and these are little shorty mitts. And the video on how I did this yarn was the sunflower rollags that I did last fall. And I went ahead and made the headband and these fingerless mittens. I would love to tell you the pattern. I remember it was free. I think it's a runner's headband. It does have a little bit of a cable pattern on it. If you are gonna do cables, I don't typically recommend this type of a color yarn, but you know, I like to break the rules sometimes. So these have nice little cables on them, and they are in the sunflower colorway. And I love this. It's so comfortable and it's not too tight, but it stays put on my head. And then the crowning little feature here is I made a little sunflower button out of polymer resin clay, which I thought was super cute. I wear these a lot in the fall. Just another item. I think I made this pattern up, although I do so much that I can't remember if I made this one up or if it was a pattern. I think I just took this stitch pattern and modified it and stuck it on a pair of fingerless mittens. But again, super fun stuff you can do. This pattern I got on Ravelry. Pretty sure it was free, and I'm pretty sure it's called the runner's headband. It's a cabled runner's headband. Let's get back to what we're gonna be doing today. I would like to do today is a couple of things. We're going to do a couple of bats. So this is 50% Coopworth, and I did have to look this up to read it because there's so many things in here. But the other 50% is a blend of Leicester Longwool, Gotland, Romney, Rommeldale, Lincoln, and Corriedale. So the second half of this has a really nice blend of things. It is quite lovely. It's airy and soft. I think this is really going to floof up well when we drum card it. My only question is whether or not it will break the fiber or pill at all. I did notice when I was scouring it that it is a little bit, the tips are a little bit fragile, which I wasn't really concerned about. And it opens up really, really nicely, and it is quite soft. I'm really excited to see. So what I'd like to do is we're gonna drum card a bat of just the all natural, and then I have a lot of this fleece, and I was dyeing last weekend, and I dyed a bunch of these of this same exact stuff here. And this is Merlot, this is oxblood, and it's all over dyed on this natural fiber, so it takes the color up differently than the white, which I can show you some of that too. This is a beautiful lamb that I processed from Malik Family Farm, and this one is 75 Gotland, 25 Coopworth, and these are brilliant white locks with like a lovely sheen to them, and you can see how much brighter the colors are. And I have well, let's see here. I have some green. This is actually going to be another bat that we'll do probably next time. And I did this this lovely avocado green, and I also have this. It's called tobacco leaf, and just look at how beautifully these dyed. This is. I just wanted to show you the difference between like a white fleece where you can pretty much expect all of the colors the way that you would anticipate them, and with the darker color when you're over dyeing, interesting things happen, and it's, you know, a little bit different. When I first saw this one in the pan, I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like raw meat. It's hard for me to unsee it, but I think once it's blended, it is going to be really pretty, and there's a little tiny touch of purple in here. The next thing that I wanted to show you was all of this wonderful floofiness. I'm not sure exactly how much is here. I'm probably around 90 grams or 85 grams, somewhere in there. I wanted to kind of just floof up a bunch. And I want to show you how I flick open the locks here. This is my lock pop. It's from Clems and Clems. What I do is I just grab a couple of these locks, and the tip end, so this is the blunt cut side, is the side that's closest to the animal, and then the tip here is the sunny side up tip here, that's what sees all the weather. And when I was scouring the tips, I didn't flick them all open. I did flick some of them open. If they were really dirty, I would flick them open. But what you'll see here is all of the vegetable matter and stuff is going to fall out when you open these locks up. I should show you my table here because I have a bunch of dirt on the table. Even just this stuff sitting here, if I just shake it a little bit, and to me it feels clean, it looks clean, but if I just do this, there's already some vegetable matter falling out on the table. We'll just sweep it over into a pile, but it'll get all gritty and dirty here. And that's what it's supposed to do, because you want all this out before you get it on your drum carder, because you don't want all that in your drum carder. So basically all I do is just take each end of my lock here and just flick it and then put it into my pile. And you can do more than one at a time. If I see a couple here, and this was already kind of open and fluffy, so I'm just add it to the pile here. And well, let's do one first. So here's my lock. Look at that peel. Look at that sproing. It's so cool. And then all you do is just do that. And now you see how it's opened, and any of that dirt has fallen off. So I just wanted to show you all the dirt here. If you can see, all of this is all just dirt from the locks here. And then if you look straight down into here, this is supposed to be clear blue. So all that kind of shadowy looking stuff isn't shadow, it's actually dirt. And then just from this just sitting here, literally doing nothing, there is a sandy dirt coating here. See if you can see it if I sweep it all together. See that? All of this right here, and I literally did nothing to it. So this dirt is just gonna continue to fall here on the sides here. You can see all the dirt, and that's what it's supposed to do. You want it to all come out before it goes onto your drum carder, and you definitely don't want to trap that, because if it goes into the drum carder, then it's going to pulverize it, and it's going to go through. One, it can damage your drum carder over time, and two, it just pulverizes that dirt and vegetable matter into your fiber, so when you spin it, it's just spinning like dirt and bits in there, and it's hard to get out. Impossible, really. It just pulverizes it. So that's why we're opening these, to get rid of all of the vegetable matter that we can. So I'm just going to show you a few of these colored ones, and then I'll just do the rest off camera. What I did was I just took these and took a handful of each. They're around 30, 35 grams each handful here. And all I'm going to do is just one end is going into the lock pop, and then the other end I'm just going to comb gently like this. And oh, look how cool that is. It's kind of like an ombre almost, from purple to like this kind of crazy blue. And all I'm doing here is just opening up the ends. That one's pretty fuzzy. That one is pretty fuzzy. Cannot talk this evening. And we got that one. And then we do this end. Well, that one was so soft it didn't even need anything. Just throw that in there. Oh, they are so cool looking. I love this color. I think this is going to look really neat. If you can appreciate that. It looks really cool. Let me try a bigger lock here so you can see it. And I really, really want to see what this Cabernet color. I'm a big fan of the Cabernet color. Let's see what this looks like for us. So here is this is the end that is on the animal here, the blunt skin side here. And then here's the tip here. And that tip's so soft I barely even needed to do anything. And that's the red. I don't really have a separate place. We'll just set it there temporarily. And then we'll look at them when it's all done. I do want to also see what this ox blood looks like. I gotta know. I need to get the raw meat picture out of my head. You never know. Sometimes you're like, oh, I don't love it. And then when you see it, it's going to be amazing. I made an entire shawl, and I followed the exact spinning. I had the color and everything, and I did the hand spun. And I saw this beautiful, like very pale white to pink progressive spin that I did, and it was called I think it was called the Holden shawl, and I did the beaded option. I mean, I did a lot of work on this. And then I showed it to my friend, and she's like, looks like raw meat. And then I looked up the pattern, and the actual name of the color that they did was called medium rare. And I was like, oh my gosh. So it was raw meat, and I was not a fan of that. But oh well, it's hard for me to unsee, but it's still a really pretty shawl, and I wear it because nobody else has to know that it was raw meat, except for you guys. We'll keep it a secret. So I hope this oxblood is not going to be a repeat of the meat thing. All right. I'm just going to clean off these little nubs here so we can put the red on and see what we like. Okay. Please don't look like raw meat. Actually, that just looks like a nice red. I think it's going to be fine. So I'm going to keep going here, and I'm going to do the locks on a little bit of these here, so we'll have enough to do a natural carded bat, and then one that has the same fiber but dyed. I opened all this up, so we are ready to go. This is about 3.2 ounces of fiber here, and we're going to go ahead and start carding this. What I am going to do, I have everything nice and stable here. I am going to go ahead and start feeding in some of this fiber. And again, this is the Coopworth locks and the cross. Now, when you are drum carding, this is the woolen prep, which I know you've heard me talk about before. And also, if I see anything in here, because there still might be some vegetable matter, even though I open the locks. If I see anything, I'll just pick it out as I go along. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this on. The woolen prep is the fibers are all kind of willy-nilly. It matters zero what order these are on in here. It can be forward, sideways, it just doesn't matter. What matters is that we're going to pass this through, I hope 3 times. I'm going to see how this is holding up and making sure that things aren't like breaking and pilling and stuff, because you definitely don't want any of that. Well, I don't want any of that. Sometimes I do it on purpose because I want a particular effect. But that is not what I'm looking for right now. I would like this to be wonderful and floofy and soft. So, and what I'm going to do is just compact this first layer down. And this is a burnishing brush from Clems & Clems. And I love this brush. I have a packer brush, but this brush does such a better job. I'm just going to continue to add on, and so far everything looks like it's going to plan here. Here's a little tip that looks like maybe it didn't get open. I'm just going to break that off. So as I'm coming through, I'm sort of doing my final quality control pass, because with all of this fiber, it's hard to get 100% perfection. You're always going to have something that gets in there. So I'm just opening this up a little bit more just to make sure. And there's some nice fluffiness here. And see, now that one, a little piece came through on my liquor end, and I think that had to do with the fact I was going a little fast with my wind on here. So I'm going to wind a little bit slower and see how that goes. That was better. Sometimes I get excited and I get a little carried away. I want to go super fast. All right, we're getting close to the tops of the pins here. Not quite, we still have room to go, but I'm going to pause for a minute and zoom in here so you can see how awesome this color looks. Here is the drum carder. Let me see if I can get this without a shadow. Oh yeah, this is better. And you can kind of see the variations in the color with the gray and the brown and the very, very light tan. I love it. I also wanted to show you, I'm trying to fill this up as best I can. Now, this drum carder should hold 3 ounces without, that's kind of like the max that it will hold. And I usually like to, max it out. But I still have all of this fluff over here, and I think I had about 3.2 ounces that I fluffed up here for this, and I may end up doing 2 separate bats just because you know, I'm almost to the tops of the pins here. So it is getting a little full, and I also was hoping I would have a little tip to show you how to handle, but I don't see one. So I'm going to put this back up here, and then I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 more additions. I'm going to add this and maybe 1 more, and see if I have any irregularities that I can show you how to address. So far, so good. I'm going to go ahead and roll this on, and the key here is going nice and slow. And if I get 1 more pass on here, I'm going to compress this down. So one of the other things, different things that can happen when you're using your drum carder and you're like, I don't know, it worked good 5 minutes ago. One is if you crank too fast, and this is a kind of a medium to fine medium fiber, and the staple length on this is not super short either. You can see that there's one of the opened locks here, and that's probably like 3 inches, 2.5, 3. So it's not super long, so I don't worry about it getting stuck on here. But if this goes in this order and I'm cranking really fast, it can actually get wrapped around my liquor in. And I'll show you here, see if I can get stuck, although, you know, then, so if I crank this really fast like this and do that, see how that starts to get stuck right there, right where that long one was? So you don't want to do it really fast. So sometimes you just need to slow down. The other thing that I wanted to show you, I was hoping I had a tip that maybe wouldn't be open, but my good fortune is that all the tips appear to be working perfectly. So let's see here. I'm sure we'll come across something that we can talk about. Well, I just realized the camera was not on. So here is the first pass. Don't worry, I'll show you how to take it all off again. Here's the first pass here, and it's looking really good, but you can see it's not completely homogenized yet. It's really nice and thick and fluffy here. And of course, earlier when I was doing this, and I thought I was talking to you all, I could see, there's a little piece of vegetable matter. I could see one of the locks on the inside here that wasn't open, and I was gonna say, you know, hey, we're gonna comb through that. So we're gonna run this through at least 2 more times and see how much smoother it gets. So you can see, like, here's a lock that's not completely homogenized. You can kind of see that lock there. And anytime I see any, like, here's a little tiny piece of vegetable matter, I'm gonna get that out because I don't want any of that to be in the final yarn. All right, let's head back and put this through again. We are ready to start the second pass. And this does not matter what way you put this in. In fact, the less organized it is, the fluffier the final and airier the final bat will be. So I am just going to start with some of this light stuff here, and I am going to crank this down. And again, not going too fast, because we've already demonstrated speed kills. All right. And, what I was going to say too is if I came to any, so here's a little tip that got broken off when it was drum carding, and that will become a nep if you come across it when you're spinning. And a couple of those in there is not a big deal. But if you were gonna purchase something and you had a zillion of those in there, it would be annoying, especially if you wanted a nice smooth yarn. So I do my best to make sure that none of those are in there. Let's see how this does for us. Looking good. We are ready. I've lifted up my packer brush, and now we're going to go ahead and start taking this off. And so this is now 3 passes. Again, just gonna take this off in little bite-sized pieces. And we'll see if this needs to go through a fourth time or not. Right now, I think it's looking pretty good. Make sure we have all of the fiber here. Make sure I didn't leave anything connected. Okay. And since my hope is this is gonna be the last one, I'm gonna try to get as much of this as I can here. And again, I'm just sort of pulling the drum up, and then I'm lifting this kind of up and back kind of a motion, and there we are. Oh, look at that. It's looking really good. I wonder if I should go through one more time or not. It's looking pretty homogenized now. I don't know if you remember when we first saw it, it was kind of stripy with the gray and the dark gray, light gray, and the fawn color. And if you look at it now, it's nice and homogenized. Here we have the final bat. It is so floofy. I love this, and I believe it's next to Skin Soft. I'm very excited to get this spun up. I did want to do the colored bat at the end here. I just don't think there's enough time to fit it in. So I'm going to put that one up next week. So you got a little sneak peek of those locks, and next week we'll drum card that up, and I think you're going to really like it. I will be at the Maryland Alpaca and Fleece Festival tomorrow, which is actually when you're watching this. So right now, I am at the Maryland Alpaca and Fleece Festival. I will be hanging with Naveed and Rahina at the exhibition Hall 1, and I'm going to take them, this bat, and the overdyed bat, and I'm excited for them to see it, and then I'm going to bring it back and spin it, and we'll see how to do all those things. It's going to be really fun. I got lots and lots of good things coming up. I will see you next time. Until then, spin happy.